Welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, got first in the fifth competitions. Surprised me with that. Apparently I thought we would not be getting that, but unfortunately we really have been very lucky here. So really fortunate that we managed to get first again. So yeah, of course, all this adds on to the fact that we have a gold train, so that allows us to keep on getting those 100 EP. So it's relatively important. I mean, now the fact that we know there's this special 100 EP job that we can do. So with that, the first sub, we already have propelled ourselves to the first spot at the EPH start that we get it. So of course, gathering gold is relatively important. I hope you've been saving up for the next long competition, probably 1 million or more. Also the fact that we're going to save Union dollars and gems and do not spend any more because the tail end of this competition is coming, and the next one will be the last competition, and I think maybe I believe many of the gems spender will be splurging everything that they have in order to grab the last bit of the coins that they require. So if you are really into it, which means that you really need that, then by all means. Otherwise, I don't think there's really a need to spend gems or Union dollars to fight this very tough last competition. The fact that, like I said, all out. So just make sure that you get what you wanted so far. I mean, be it the trains or coins packs or parts, that's up to you. Some people even just go for the coin packs or the parts itself, so no trains at all. That's the different preference. But again, because of the change here, that the fact that you need event trains, that will have changed the total ball game. There used to be, like I said, people just go for parts. Probably Pixel realize that they're not really interested in the trains, so they're gonna force it down to say that if you don't have event trains, you can't do the jobs, hence you can't get the parts you wanted. So that's the reason why probably they implement this, and also the fact with that they may entice you to buy with real money to get the trains that you wanted. So that's the ball game. I mean, it's about revenue maximization. So if you're still like a free-to-play like myself, then probably do not fall into that trick. Alright, so now back to this delivery of those skeletons. You gotta really manage it. Normally what I did is I would just get the ghost trains, also called the event trains, out to collect all those skeletons every round before I send the dispatcher out. And of course, the balance of the dispatchers will be used to collect the rest of the event items. That's normally what I do. So it's a matter of discipline that you do that every time before you send the trains out. So of course, at the last juncture where you're fighting really neck to neck in competition, every minute's count. That's a totally different story. But otherwise, that's what I normally do. Alright, so it's relatively important. Otherwise, you run out of your supplies of skeletons, and you really gotta waste time to keep on collecting them. Probably just spend half an hour collect the required, like for this 670 number of skeletons, and I really run dry on my supplies. So I would basically need to run maybe a few more rounds, right? So every round we could get about probably 200, so it's 3 rounds of a couple of minutes each, and that's the requirement. So of course, the other things that sometimes they ask for are non-event items that actually give a fine balance to it, rather than all focusing on event items. So at least that gives some breather. Otherwise, it's really tough. So in terms of union play, it's always very tough for me because quantity asked for is really huge to exchange for the union items. But I'll try my best here because at the end of the day, we're fighting very tough battle, which is the final stage of the Silver League. So in order to move on to the Gold League, it's almost impossible. So it's really tough, and I really appreciate. I mean, so far we've been to the last of the Silver League, like what we ended from the last season. But really hopeful that this season we could push through the goal. But again, we're always hit with very difficult unions that we're fighting against. So there's no choice so far. I think we failed twice. This is the third round we are fighting, still at the higher silver positions. Hopefully we don't drop, so at least we can keep on trying. Maybe a few times later we'll be lucky and manage to cross over to the goal league itself. And of course, rewards will be more attractive once you cross over the goal. So that being said, this is the competition they've been fighting, and really tiring, I must say, because it's been a long battle. But nonetheless, happy they've been progressing really well. 899 will be the final, and I'm looking forward to that, so I can share with you more what is the elite competition that they're fighting at 899 level. Alright, so that's all for sharing. I think we got first, really happy with this, and of course, more importantly, we have 4 chances right now to do the big boxes, since we already spent all on the coins itself. So this is the moment of enjoyment after fighting so hard. Let's see what we get. Just getting parts, and a good number of parts, I must say. 331 epic parts times 3, and let's see what we get for the last one. Alright, so 4,000 over the common parts, not too bad after all. But again, if there are more trains to be exchanged out using the gold, I think that's fantastic. Here we have a Miss Maker. Still short about 400-ish keys. Hopefully you get it soon. And with that, we're really hoping that the last competition allows us to do that, so that we can get the maximized number of trains out of it. But again, all depends on luck. 400 over keys is not easy to obtain. The unequal amount of keys allocated for the EPs obvious, and with that reducing amount, it's really tough to get a few hundred event keys. I'm hoping there'll be better codes, free codes for 50 keys, so that allows us to collect more. EP is one. The other, also called keys, is one along the EP, but the other more important is if you give more free code, we should be able to get more out of it. So this is something really looking out for. So far, the code they gave, so far the latest one was floor. Apparently it doesn't work, so really upset with that, but unfortunately we're just gonna leave with it. Hopefully they give another new code soon. So now we're just preparing for the next battle. Make sure your factories are all filled to the brim with items, so you need to take our warehouse spacing and leave all the warehouse spaces to your event materials that you basically need to gather, as well as your event manufactured products, finished products. So those are the things you're going to put into your warehouse, whereas the rest you're going to clear them out so you got more space. But of course, if you're a huge warehouse, there's a totally different story. My warehouse is really tiny, so that's how they're going to survive. That's all to share. Thanks so much for watching. Wish you good luck in the last competition. Goodbye.